Hey, what's up, guys? Jerry Mackinson here. Just wanted to make a really quick video. I've had a few questions that people have asked following up from our last meetup where we kind of talked a little bit about Trello, and I showed you a couple tools that I use in some of my funnel hacking. So that I'd make a video to give you guys something where you can actually go through and see all of what we kind of talked about there. So it's basically two tools that I wanted to highlight for you guys here today. Trello is the first tool. It's completely free, and actually both these tools are totally free. Trello does have some paid options, but I really don't feel like you're limited at all with going with a free account. And Trello is basically a software that's originally designed as a product management or task management type of software. I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with other project management softwares out there. I've used many others out there. I've used Asana, I've used Atlassian and Jira, I've used Basecamp and Rike. There's a bunch of them out there, and I think almost all of them are more complex than this. And I actually really like Trello just for its simplicity. So there are others that are more complex if you're looking for some really detailed, in-depth features and capabilities. But as a standard, Trello is a great resource for managing your own tasks. Where I often like to start out, we basically have each one of these like desktop type areas in Trello is called a board, and so you can create boards for whatever. I've often created boards for separate businesses. So I have like my business. I have a couple businesses of mine. I have clients and their businesses. I've created boards for different things. I even have one that I've actually made when I go shopping and I want to have a list. I created a board for that. But anyway, it's basically a board is what you're looking at here, and then you can create a list. One of the best ways that I start out in creating tasks is by, this is kind of like a very watered down version of, I think it's Agile, but I basically have like a backlog. I have like active, I have like a pending or in review list. I have a published list, and if we basically start with that, this gives me kind of a framework. So if I had a little task where I needed to create an opt-in funnel as an example, in my backlog I put in tasks that I want to do, but I don't yet have them in play right now. I'm not working with them. Basically in Trello I can move those from backlog to active, pending, published, depending on where they're at. And as I click into this itself, I can give it more of a description. This needs to be a lead generation funnel for my client, whatever. You can type in stuff into a description there. You can also add in comments. If you have other team members, they can come in here and collaborate as well, and you can add them as a member of a specific task. You can give them specific assignments. You can also label this. So maybe I'll say that this is for, maybe I'll use orange and say that orange is going to be for funnel builds or something. And I can save that, and I can tag it as an orange task so I know it's associated with a funnel. I can create a checklist. So maybe if there's aspects of this funnel that I need to build, maybe I'll add a checklist and I'll say, of the things I need to do, I need graphics, I need a video, I need copy, I need Facebook pixel placed on it, like whatever it is. I need the lead magnet that we're going to create. You can put in all those things, whatever you want to put in there. I can mention a due date and time, and then I can even add an attachment. So if I have actual files associated with this or screenshots, anything like that I can do. And the purpose of this video, I'm not going to get like super in depth into the productivity side of Trello, because that's kind of there, and I just want you guys to be able to go through and test that out, try things, see what works and what makes sense for you guys in your business. But more importantly, what I want to share with you guys here today is how I actually am really passionate about using Trello for funnel hacking, right? So I'm going to go ahead and archive these really quick. So I create one list as a starting point, and I'll just call it like, funnel hack. I guess we'll just say, funnel hack examples, I guess, right? And when I go out and around online on the internet, when I find an awesome funnel and I want to go through it, and there's many times I actually go through and purchase my way all the way through the funnel, just like Russell talks about. And I really encourage you guys to do that, especially if it's a funnel that you are really wanting to all the way through Funnelhack and understand the strategy of why they're doing what they're doing, find out where they're making different tweaks and changes and how they're successful, all that kind of stuff. If you want to do that, I really recommend buying your way all the way through the funnel. If you don't, you're only going to see the front end, so you're going to be missing the real magic in their funnel. But anyway, working with a client recently, we were on the Zuma Juice website. These guys are pretty similar to Organifi, if you've heard of them. So this is just zumajuice.com. You can scroll through, and so I'm going to use Trello and a combination of another tool that I use. You can see along the top here I have a ton of different I have a ton of different Chrome extensions. We're going to use a screenshot Chrome extension for this. It's this one right here, has the little gray camera. It's called Full Page Screen Capture. Now the way you can get to that, really quick, I'll open another tab. If you come over to the right, you see 3 dots right here. You can click on that, go to More Tools, and go to Extensions. And if you guys aren't using Chrome, I highly recommend that you abort whatever you're using and move over to Chrome. I know that may take a little bit of work. You may have bookmark stuff and everything else, but I really recommend you get over to Chrome because it is by far the fastest, most up-to-date browser available. If you can't use Chrome, please use Firefox, but definitely get off of Safari, get off of Internet Explorer, Edge, or whatever the heck it's called now. So anyway, we're going to go to Chrome extensions. We're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom here where it says Get More Extensions. We'll click on that. Loads for a second. And this top left here, we'll just type in Full Page Screen Shot. Or maybe it's Full Page Screen Capture. I think it's Capture, actually. Oh well, we'll see what it does, see what happens here. So it is this top one right here. You can see I've already installed it. That's why you're seeing this green added and stuff. But this is the one that I use. And what this allows me to do, when I am looking at a funnel and I want to screen capture the entire funnel, or the entire page, so I have that to look at, I will actually come over. So when I'm on the page and I've loaded it, I'm going to click this button, and I want to not move my mouse, keep my mouse still. If you're moving your mouse during this, it can mess up the picture, but I'll go ahead and click that, and it's now going to do a scrolling screenshot. It's slowly capturing the entire screen, and this works for very long sales pages too. If it's a super, super, super long sales page, it may break it up into 2 images, but it usually can cover some very long ones. So this is the page. You can see the little repeated questions box, and there's not really a way to get around that, but it's not a big deal. So anyway, so we now have that. I can drag that onto my desktop here. And the really cool part about this, as I go through this process, we've captured that first page. Now if I wanted to come through and look at, like the sample page as an example, and now I'm kind of getting into the next step of their funnel, I'm saying, hey, I want a sample of Zuma Juice. What does that look like? I'm going to screenshot that page. And again, this is a little bit longer of one here, so go ahead and let our little Pac-Man dude chomp through it. And we have that one. And then if I get to, as I go through that, if I took the next action to get to the next step in their funnel, send my sample package, I'm now into, it looks like the first step of their cart here, right? So I'll go ahead and screenshot this. I don't know what technology they're using. They're obviously not using ClickFunnels because their cart doesn't look great by any means, but again, I can kind of still see what's happening in their funnel here, so that would be the third step. And then if I said, yes, I want a $10 one, continue to checkout, I'm now to the next step where I can see their form. Again, I'll screenshot that. And we'll drag that over the desktop. Now to make sure I don't confuse any one of these, I'll just call this one, or actually, it's probably better practice. Let's just call them what they are, right? So we'll say landing page. Actually, let's do a number 1, then landing page, so I can have that order very clear. So we'll do 2 sample page. So this is going to be 3. This is order form step 1. And then we'll do number 4. order form step 2. So we have those 4 steps there. Now in this example, I'm not super interested in ZumaJuice, so I'm actually not going to go all the way through and buy it. But like I said, if it's something you are funnel hacking for your own stuff, you really need to be okay with buying your way through the funnel to understand what's going on. So now that we have those screenshots, I'm going to go ahead and close those out. We're going to go back into Trello, and this is kind of where it gets really cool. So funnel hack examples is the list that I created. I'm going to add a card, and I'll call this one like the Zuma Juice sample funnel, right? I can't type. And as I click into here, I may give a little bit more description. So, you know, that I could say this is a funnel where Zuma Juice is trying to do a free plus shipping sample of their drink or something, right? Just put in whatever notes you have. The really cool part about this is when you can do attachments, okay? Let's see, if I go to computer here, that's where I'm going to source this from, and I have right here 1 through 4. There's my steps. I go ahead and attach each one of those. I now have a awesome dedicated place where I can review these. This is the challenge that I've had. I actually went through and cleaned up my my desktop before doing this video, but my desktop gets super messy with a lot of files, and you know, what good are these screenshots if I don't have them in an easy to access place where I can then, you know, review them and actually study them and go through it and all that kind of stuff. So even though Trello is a you know, by its nature, was created for task management, it can also be a very good, easy access repository for documents, and that's essentially how I use this now. This isn't something that I invented. When I was up at the Designathon thing for ClickFunnels, I saw and have access to Russell's design, his funnel instance of Trello, where he essentially does this with his competitors and other people that he's looking at, and I've just found it to be a really cool resource, really cool way to do it. So my computer's been a little bit slow today, not just with this video. I haven't restarted in probably a month, so I probably need to do that. So that's why it's taking a little while to upload here. But it's basically going to upload every single image into Trello here, and I can go ahead and click outside of here. And I only have the one image uploaded right now, but you can now see, like under the funnel hacks examples, I can see this card is called Zuma Juice Sample Funnel. And I click into here, and when I'm looking at this first one, again, it's going a little slow right now, but it will let me, let's see if I can do it right there. Okay, so I can click on here and be able to look at that sales page. I'm sure your guys' will all go faster than this, but I can now actually review that content. It's right there, easy to access for me to go through. And really that's kind of what I recommend that you guys do, so that, you know, as you're going through this kind of stuff, when you quickly notice something, you can quickly go through the steps of the funnel and be able to put them in a good dedicated place where you'll be able to have easy access to that content. So you can easily come in here, add more cards, just name them intuitively so you can easily find what you're looking for. Won't have any issues there. You can create other things too. I made in a different board of mine, I made one when I'm trying to get better at CSS. You know, as I go through different forums and I'm in different Facebook groups, I'll find people that mention like, oh, here's a little awesome bit of CSS that I use to do whatever, to like fully extend out beyond the margins of a funnel where I'm creating rows and columns, that kind of stuff. I create one that's like CSS hacks, right? And then I'll get that CSS, I'll open it into something like this, like a text edit type document. Show you another one here. So I'll open it up to something like this. I can paste it in, and then I save that document, and then I just upload it like an attachment, and then I again have a nice easy place where I can access content like that. So while that's uploading, I want to show you this other one. That's not it. Designathon. So Designathon is the one that I have access to, having gone to Russell's event there. And this is kind of, you know, he has a lot more content in here, but this is how he's been using it. So he has on his left-hand side here a resources list, and you can see like here's a list of royalty-free sites. I'll click on that really quick, and it just has a ton of different options there. You can see he listed these out essentially as a checklist. That's really what this is. Just called it sites, but he has one for there. He has design sites to model. So if you guys are familiar with these, like Dribble or Digital Kickstart, Site Inspire, they're good sites to go to kind of get the gears turning and see really great examples of UI and UX that you could incorporate into your own websites and funnels. Anyway, he marks in a lot of these things right here. So like post editor bugs or feature requests. These are bugs and feature requests that he's wanting us in our group, in the Designathon group, to come and share with him. And then he adds them into there. You could list out tools that you use. So like you could list out and link out the screen capture tool that we use. And we've just been kind of adding in different ones here. So again, any kind of information that you want to have easy, clean access to, and don't clutter up your desktop or whatever, it's a great place to put it in here. So he uses resources, and this is kind of where he looks at different aspects of people's funnels, looks at the pages in the funnels, the landing pages, the thank you pages. This is where he's notated all of his different funnel types that are going to be in the funnel cookbook that's coming out next week, I believe, on the 15th. This is kind of Dylan's list. Dylan, I'm forgetting his last name. Dylan's the main designer of ClickFunnels, like the look. Dylan Jones, that's it. The look and feel of ClickFunnels, Dylan created, and this is kind of some examples and notes that he took going through that process. So you can kind of see that, and then he has some templated stuff here too. These are along the lines of what we're building leading up to the 15th. So at any rate, this is kind of a nice, easy, clean way that you can use Trello. My favorite thing about Trello is it's up to your own interpretation. You can use it pretty much however you want. So this is one way that Russell uses it, and I've really found this to be a super cool way. So at any rate, really hope that helps you guys out, gives you a little food for thought. Definitely, even if you're not going to use Trello, go and get that screenshot tool. So again, it's called Full Page Screen Capture. It's just a Chrome extension. Get on Chrome and use that tool. It's super, super easy to be able to get awesome screenshots of funnels that you go through, and hope that helps you guys out. Thanks.